How are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad you did. I'm Jimmy. We're about to spend a day on flat rate. Making it work. A day on flat rate. Actually at work with me. A little busy yesterday, which was nice for a change. We haven't been very busy for about 3 weeks now. 2.5, 3 weeks. Kind of strange. We do what we can every day to make the best of it, make it as productive as possible. Even if there isn't something coming into the shop to fix, I'll work on the project truck or inventory the tires that we had in the back room, something like that. Just to stay, I gotta stay busy. I'm not much for sitting around doing nothing. Sometimes I'll climb on the internet and start up trouble, which is always fun. A lot of people take things either way too seriously or not seriously enough, depending on your perspective. Beautiful morning this morning, 77 degrees. And only about 1,000% humidity, so not as humid as normal. I got the AC job to finish up on the Silverado from yesterday. We got horns coming forward. It also had bad horns. So we'll get that finished up today, I'm guessing. He promised it by midday, but I don't have all the parts yet, so we'll see what happens with that. In any event, we're going to do what we can to keep the world moving. Try to keep the lights on, have a little fun, maybe learn a thing or two. You guys teach me just as much as I teach you. So I'm not here to be a premium instructor on the internet. I'm just here to show you what it's like working in the shop fixing cars all day. Matter of fact, if I stop flapping my trap, get in there, open the shop and get started, we can do just that. Stay tuned. Alright, maybe I should get my microphone and we'll fire this thing up. I haven't used my other battery yet too. There's another battery in here for this. Backup battery. Oh, look at that. It hooked itself up too. It's sweet. I'm going to fire this thing up, make sure the air works, make sure there's no fluid leaks out of any of the fittings I disturbed and stuff. If you watched yesterday's video, we did most of the repair yesterday. We'll be doing the horn today and verifying our work today. 153,000 miles in this old girl. It's actually in pretty nice shape, you know. There's a little something going on right here, but I like that he's got it focused in an area that he could clean quickly if he decides it bothers him more than it bothers me. That's something for me to deal with. Someone just posted this morning, making fun of customers' cars is a great way to get customers. I'm like, what? Oh, look, it's working. I'm not making fun of anybody's cars. I'm just saying, hey man, why do you let it get this nasty? Clean it. More like a fatherly thing, or maybe making fun is kind of what it is, but it's not really that to me. I'm just pointing it out and going, what are you doing? Take 5 or 10 minutes to clean the mess. It's not hard, but like a lot of things, if it doesn't bother you, then you don't do it. The person that it bothers has to do it. Like anything, I was just talking to Jace about that. They yelled at him because I cleaned his mess because it was bothering me. He was home for the day, so I cleaned it up. It doesn't mean he's a slob. It means it was bothering me and he wasn't done with the car yet. So why would he clean it, he said. I'm like, well, that's true. Oh, goodness. Oh, why didn't my light charge? What the heck? Let's see if it works. Everything's looking good. I gotta pop this cap on here. Always double check your work, because when you think you're done, you might not be. That's better. Don't see any leaks. Compressor sounds good. Pressures are perfect. It's got to be ice cold. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. If you could feel that, you'd be so cozy and comfy right now. You might even need a sweat jacket or something to stay warm. We're just waiting on a horn now. He has a horn right there, so what's wrong with that? It's covered. We got a little Backstreet Boys going on, and probably shouldn't go towards it. I did. Oh, let me go the other way. Still waiting on the horns, kind of chilling right now. I did, good news. I caught the GoPro misbehaving with my cell phone and then send them a video about it. I don't know if they have to replace the camera or at least sort out some software issues or something like that, but I've got a hard video of the 3 different problems it has. One of them I had to pull the battery out, and I did it and recorded the whole thing. Pulled the battery out, put it back in to get it to turn on. The DJI camera I'm recording on right now, flawless. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I could use that camera for other things or something. Maybe they'll just give me a refund. I'll send it back. At this point, I'd rather send it back, and I'll buy a second DJI camera to have a backup in case something does happen or I smash this thing or something like that. I have to have some kind of a backup camera. So, depending on how they handle this will determine, if I have to, I'll end my GoPro subscription, sell all my GoPro cameras, which they all work. A little glitchy here and there, but they work. If you're not filming videos 5 days a week like I am, even that Mission 1, it'll work. You just have to pay a lot of attention and not be at work so you can catch when it does it and restart it. It's not that big of a deal, but it is when you spend $1,000 on equipment for it. Anyway, hope something else happens today. Joe's getting his storage unit packed up today. He's meeting the movers and stuff to load all that stuff up. And I think he's working until next Thursday, and that'll be his last day. So, see how that goes. I don't think we've hired anyone to replace him yet. He's not really replaceable. I kind of like to think both of us are pretty invaluable employees, just on the basis that we show up every day. We have a pretty good idea what we're doing. Even though I goof around a lot, anyone new to the channel might not know, but I have fabrication skills. I've literally built cars from nothing. I built a 32 Ford that came in boxes and made a car out of it. I didn't end up selling it. I built a 49 Chevy with an LS, late model LS drivetrain, all fabricated, everything myself. Well, among the things I do here in the shop on a regular basis. So I don't think there's a lot of people doing those kinds of things nowadays in this business. It's kind of hard to find. Hopefully we'll find someone that can fill Joe's shoes, at least if we find some really funny, huh? If we find somebody half as good as Joe, I'll be happy. Let's put it that way. Look at this cream puff. 2005. Well, customer says it's a 2005. It says 7 of 04 on the VIN tag, but turn signals aren't working. He's been working on it himself and trying to figure it out. It's got a bad battery connection. I kind of fixed that. It's got one of those temporary quick disconnect terminals on it. He says intermittently they'll work and sometimes they don't work, and it's got the clock spring bypassed. Looks like someone's put a turn signal in it already. So right now I've got the left blinkers on. These are real common. I'm getting my tools out here because the most common failure in these is the lighting control module, which it's kind of the same thing as having the turn signal do it, but Ford uses a separate module. I'll show you what it looks like under here. We got music playing again today, so we're trying to avoid some of that. But that guy right there, that's the lighting control module. It's in charge of an awful lot of things. And I've already tried wiggling the connector, and sometimes you can just push on the connector and it'll start working, and you know you're on the right track as far as pin fit or the circuit board and the lighting control module being bad. But I'm going to take it out. It should be 2 7mm screws, and we should be able to get it out of there and see if it's being problematic or not. I do want to go the correct direction though, because, you know, plastic and all. There's also a clip other than the 2 screws. Doesn't seem... It's going to be a long video. It's supposed to usually pop right out, but being a police car, there's probably other things attached to it. It's all custom wired, so the wiring diagrams are out the window. And then there are cool things like this ground wire. I don't know what that was added for. So we've already checked the fuse. We know the fuse is good. Plus, if the fuse is blown, it wouldn't work intermittently if the fuse is blown. So if I can get this out of here, what I want to see is why it works with the hazards and not the turn signals. Rather than 20 minutes of me fumbling with this. Alarm modules added in, there's tie wraps everywhere, there's... Whew, alright. Alright, we're going to open up a little can of worms, I think. It's not a very good picture, but the fuse is good, and in fact we basically know that because the hazards work and they work intermittently. The customer said I haven't seen it work yet. I thought I was going to pop this lighting control module out there, make sure power was going to it, because the way it works is when it goes to hazard, then it disables the turn signal from working, and when the hazards aren't on, then it allows the turn signal to work, but it still goes through the lighting control module. And if the lighting control module doesn't see that power change, then it doesn't let the turn signals work, which is what I think we're headed towards, but I want to prove it out. You know, we don't just slap parts in here. That's not true. If it was 30 bucks, I'd plug one in and see if it worked, but I don't think these are $30, and I don't think they're that easy to get. We also had a rat jump out of the car onto the ground. We saw a rat get out and scurry out of it. So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for that too. See if I can get this out of here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about on the wires. I'm really concerned about all the aftermarket wiring too, because being a police car, anything's possible. I mean, you see the added lighting, and who knows what's going on with that. We don't have a wiring diagram for any of that stuff. Got an hour, figure it out. Stop complaining. Yeah, not for nothing, but I'm feeling stuff crawling on me, and I'll try not to worry about it too much, but what I don't know won't hurt me. It's only if I know it becomes an issue. There's flies in here and stuff, I guess. It's easier to get to this, apparently. I thought it'd be easier to get to the lighting module. Usually I just pop it out, but I think the custom wiring is an issue. I hear clicking in there, that's really strange. 5.5 to get to the cover screws. You hear that? I want to see the dash in case the turn signals start working. Let me figure out which wire colors are which, what this electrical tape is doing in here, if it matters. If I put on the hazards, they work. I put on the turn signal, not so much. Now as soon as I move this switch, the lighting control module goes, okay, we want blinkers, okay, we want hazards. It won't let you have both, of course. Makes sense, but I don't know what that noise is. A key buzzer or something? I got a connector pin out. It has numbers, but I want to see wire colors since I can't really see the connector without disassembling everything. I got a left side fast and a right side slow with this unplugged, which is supposedly the feed for the turn signals. All I did is move this harness. The connector pins aren't the same as what they're supposed to be, maybe because it's a police car, but pin 9 is the gray wire, and 1 and 3 are supposed to be to the left side and right side rear turn signal. As you can see here, left hand, right hand, but they're not populated in the connector. The gray wire is right, and there's no power to it. But while I was moving the connector and I turned the camera on, and I'm at the end of my initial diag charge, so we're gonna have to go a little further, probably take this cover panel off. I'm gonna guess we'll find some custom soldered or poorly butt connectors or something, one or the other. I find bad soldering joints and I find bad butt connectors, and we've discussed that a little bit at length, I think, but there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's about doing it correctly, much more so than the method you use. At least in my experience, because I've seen both done very nicely and I've seen both done poorly and have problems. So something's going on in here. and we'll see what they want to do. I am going to take this off first, just to take a quick peek before I make a big deal out of it and say it might be time consuming, and I find out it's something obvious when I take the cover off. I think this comes off pretty easy. What do you think? Oh, it comes off from here. Huh. Oh, there must be a screw. That's nice. One screw. Let's see what size it is. Pop that out of the way. Now we might be in business right here. It's in this harness right here. Getting a little crazy. We'll be right back. Carefully, might not look it, but we're carefully cutting it open. Tried to find the end of the tape to unwrap it, but couldn't find it. Thank you. Joe said that going through Canada, he's not allowed to bring a knife that does that. It's illegal to have a pocket knife that opens with one hand. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That is funny. Oh, look at this. What is going on? Maybe it's not in here. It's something below it that's moving just enough. You can see how time consuming it can be. Mostly just playing around, trying to get something to show itself. A lot of times it'll get hot. Can't be just a connector. I wonder if it is. Well, now we're going a different direction. Such a slight, I was moving it down here and it was just moving this up here, I suppose. I want to isolate this. Yep, it's the connector at the multifunction switch. Not a butt connector or anything like I was thinking. I was automatically assuming because everything was modified it was something to do with that, but something in here, this pin fit's probably bad. We can test that, find the right pin in our electrical box. Could even be the turn signal itself. Let's get a mirror. Looks like it's been changed, but that doesn't mean much. I don't see anything obviously overheated or melted in there. The paint and everything looks so nice on the turn signal. I assumed it was new. Maybe it's not. But I'm going to check the pin fit in the connector next anyway. But I just wanted to see if there's something obvious in here first. I don't see anything. Okay, let's get some pins. Test pin fit on some of these bad Johnnies. Now, there's quite a few connectors to try. You get a good idea visually, and then you take a guess at it. Any of the males. This might be one for the larger ones. Literally put a connector in and out without the plastic involved. Make sure these are tight. They all feel good. Now I got to find the smaller one. There's two of each size in here, I believe. It'll take me a minute to find it, but it's the littler version of the same thing, I believe. Well, there's only 4 of them populated here. Feels like it drags a little bit, but it's not enough. And the guys that do this all the time and aren't just flat rate mechanics, the guys that are electrical technicians, probably look at that connector and go, yeah, it's a pin 173, well, something like that. But I'm going to say it's, I don't know, probably 030 square. I'm not sure what size that equates to in electrical speak, but I don't like the way this looks right here, but there's no wires populating that area. So, well, this one definitely doesn't feel right. Even if this is the wrong pin, I'm trying to go smaller rather than larger. You don't want to be the cause of the problem. But it drags a little bit in these three. So I gotta find a way to see if I can close these pins up a little bit. I'll have to disassemble this connector and just put a little more tension on the pin, even if it's only temporary. I wonder if you can even get this connector. That might be the only solution, bending them tighter. If we get it a little tighter and get better drag, plug it in and it still does this intermittently when you jiggle it, and the problem's on the circuit board and the multifunction switch. You gotta release this little lock, I think. Every one of these connectors is just different enough to give you a good time. Alright, now there's a little plastic button in here, like a little lever that sits on top of the metal wire, a little piece of plastic, and you just got to lift it up and you should be able to get it out. I got to get a smaller pick. This little OTC toolkit 4461, it's got a lot of the common tools for pulling these things apart, but that is the black and yellow wire, which is tucked underneath the other wire, so I couldn't pull on it while I had it released. We'll try it again. You don't want to pull on it before you release it, then it just kind of locks it in place and makes it feel like you can't get it apart. Now, it doesn't look like it got hot. It's usually mandatory to stab yourself in the finger. You might know, sometimes I'll just go and stab myself, get it over with. That way I can finish what I'm doing. There's a little spring in here. This little piece actually works like a leaf spring on a car. It pushes like that when they push together to keep tension on it. So what I want to do is try to get in here and lift that spring up. And it's probably impossible to see. I can hardly see it. And I'm right here doing it. Get my pin fit tool and see if I can get just enough friction on this thing to get it to work. I think I've got it better. I'm going to try it if it still acts up. It needs a multifunction switch. It's already not even blinking. Yeah. Going to need a multifunction switch. That pin fit was just a little off. I was hoping that would do it for him. This must not be new, or it could also possibly be a defective new part. We've seen that before. Alright, let's catch you up. I'm putting shocks in this Jeep for Joe because he's not going to make it back. They're helping load his stuff today, so I'm not sure what time he's going to be back. This car's got to be done, so sold shocks on it yesterday. Should be pretty straightforward. Look at the size of them though, they're way bigger than the original. Well, the rubber booty is at least. Emergency! The Ford police car, the lady that owns it, I heard him arguing with her on the phone. She, AAA put that battery in for her, and ever since her turn signals don't work sometimes. So we explained, well, I heard him trying to explain what I explained to him, how there's a connection in the steering column. The multifunction switch is bad. And we tried tightening the connector pins. We won't know for sure if it needs a connector until we replace the multifunction switch, because it seems like that's where our problem is. She said, well, it didn't do it before AAA changed the battery. Next thing you know, they're arguing, and she's insisting that I didn't have any problems before AAA changed the battery. So She basically knows if she complains enough, AAA will probably pay to fix her turn signal switch, I guess. From the last time I talked to those guys, they were getting pretty tired of that stuff and shutting people down. So I don't know what'll happen, but you know, and someone got mad at me for saying it last time, and I'll say it again. About 70% of the customers we get from AAA just waste your time and don't have any money. So, and the other 30% are, you know, little old ladies and little old men that are afraid to get stuck on the road and not have someone they can call. So they pay for a AAA membership. But it seems like most of the people have cars that need to be towed a couple times a month, so they have AAA to save on towing. I don't know. I know some people get mad at that, but that's what I see. That's how it is here. I'm not even going to argue about it. It's a fact. 7 out of 10. Just waste your time. And now this one, I literally, you saw I have the steering column apart, and I tested it and found out where the problem is jiggling the connector. It never did it before the battery was changed. Ryan says, well, if this happened just afterwards, it has nothing to do with it. She said again, it never did it before they changed it. So I'm like, well, stop arguing with her and just tell her to call AAA. We'll see what happens with that one. Basically what I'm saying, I might edit some of that down because it sounds like bitching and moaning. I'm just utterly amazed at the stuff people will do. And that's why we have to take pictures of people's vehicles all over the place, because they try to get everything for free, and everyone's got an angle, or, you know, everyone's putting money first, their reputation, their I don't know, you could call it an appearance, how they appear to people. They don't care. They just don't want to pay, or they can't, which is unfortunate too. But make someone else pay doesn't make any sense either. But I guess if you can find a way, you do it, right? And that's what some of these big companies, because they're terrified of the 1-star review threat, which is used as blackmail now. So these companies will pay $800 to fix a turn signal because they put a battery in for you for free. We'll see. We'll see. Let's get these shocks out of here. Just an 18 bolt and nut on the bottom. I think it's a 14 or 15 on the top, and you can't really get to it from the top. So you got to put a wrench on the nut and a wrench on the shock and just do that for like half an hour. It should be really edge of your seat type stuff. That's how we like it around here. This is a 16. I tried a 15, it seems small. Yeah, that's about right. And this here should be an 18. Bye, gravity check. Yeah, come here. This is a rusty 18. So it's a 17.5 or so. Let me grab a 17, see if it'll fit. The truck's not really rusty, but parts of it are. Like, I guess he goes off-roading or swamping. You know, the kids like to do. He's about 75 years old, but even a 17's a little loose. But we gotta do what we gotta do in this world. Gravity check number 2. Let's stop now. Let's not keep doing it, because I don't feel like bending over. Oof. Hoot. Uh-oh. Might be more challenging than expected. Back in my younger days, I'd have got the torch and just melted the top of the shock off. Problem is, in my younger days, cars were made of metal. You didn't set the engine compartment on fire. We don't want to do that. Well, we don't want to do that yet. It might come to that. We'll see. I found a metal bracket hidden under the plastic. There you go. This is literally where we're at. Slide forward to the edge of your seat and enjoy the show. What are you doing? Don't be laughing at me. That's not nice. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll turn the camera off for 10-15 minutes and we'll come back when I'm on the last thread, if I time it right. Alright, it's getting more serious now as it gets up in the rustier part of the threads. I'm down to a 5/8 wrench. The rust has been crumbling off the top of the shock. It doesn't look that rusty though, does it? It is. So now I'm going to use a trusty Pittsburgh 1/2-inch ratchet. It's the only brand you can truly count on in the industry. We're going to use this on the gear wrench open end and see how it does. So far so good. I really don't want to get a torch. It would probably save me a ton of time. I'm just not going to take the risk. Nope. We're having fun. It would have been spectacular if I caught that on camera. It finally broke. I had to go to the gear wrench, ratchet wrench, mountain wrench, whatever. What's it called? Mountain wrench. That's it. Because it spit the 16 off the top. It wouldn't stay on anymore. Finally, just shot it off and rounded off the corner. So I used my pry bar to pry this down onto it again, hoping that it would work, and it broke the shaft of the shock, which is perfect. I'll take it. It saved me quite a bit of turning because I had about, let's see. I gotta take it apart. Need my wrench back anyway. That's not nice. What are you guys doing? Oh, here you go. I had a good eight threads to go or so before it would have been off anyway. I'm glad it broke. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Bottom bolt. One shot. On this side, I almost forgot I have this wrench. One of the problems with having a lot of tools, this thing has a nice deep offset. Gear wrench. 85-916. 16 on both ends, ratcheting on the other. Offset box on the other. Clears this up at the top a little bit better. Watch your knuckles on this, FYI. Rumor has it it'll do some damage, but it's also longer, so I don't need my wrench tool. What does he call it? JDT Co. He calls it the warranty checker. So I'm gonna go at this for another 20 minutes. And then that'll be then I think we're doing an alignment on it too. The heck? Where did it go? You see it? There it is. It's a little warm, careful. Well now, it barely fits in here. The washer I can probably put in afterwards, but I'm still not even going to do that. I'll try to get it all lined up. Feed this in from the bottom. Put the bolt in down here. And then let the car down and get the nut started. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it goes. We're not mice, but we are men, so anything can happen. We're not sure. Well,
I use this to open up the barrel unless you have something to open the barrel.
Open the barrel?
Like the oil barrels.
Oh, you can use that if it'll work.
Okay.
I usually use pliers, but you can use that. Hope the shock isn't leaking. There's oil all over it. Ah, it's got pressure in it. I'm like it slipped out of my hand. It was so covered in oil. Well, you know, we're doing what we can do in this world. Need a little cooperation somewhere around here. This is why I got to let it down to get me to get my nuts started on top. The shaft of the shock barely sticks out. I got the bolt in. It's one of those things too. I got to have the car up in the air to tighten these, and down on the ground to tighten the top. We're going to focus on the top, then we're going to lift it up and tighten the bottom bolts after. Just in case something silly happens and you got to pull this bottom to spin the shock or something, because the wrench hex at the top of the shock, it's not as nice as it was. Oh, I put this in here in case I smash my hand too. It's not as nice on the hex portion of this shock as it was in the original one, so let's put that way, lower this down, see what we can do. I just needed to move up the tire about a ½ inch. Not a lot of room in there. Luckily with the new parts I can do that most of the way by hand now, especially if I let the car down some more. You want to tighten this until when you see the lower bushing start to compress, I'll go another turn or so and we'll be good. You don't want to go till the bottom's out, because the rubber's over compressed and it won't live nearly as long. But the problem is if you leave it loose, it's not good either, because then the shock's moving around and making noise and stuff like that. I've never had one of these nuts loosen up on me though. That's the good news. You can see about 3/4 of an inch of threads up there. We're good. We'll tighten those bottom bolts on the alignment rack with it at ride height. Oh, I almost forgot too, the Chevy Silverado, the dealership dropped the ball and never delivered the horn for us. So he's going to take it without the horn in it, which the horn didn't work anyway, so it still doesn't work. He's going to bring it back next week. He said, we can pop the horn in for him real quick next week. I said, I don't know if we pop it in real easy, but we can put it in. You saw yesterday's video, that horn's, it's a tight squeeze, and it's a big dual horn on a bracket, so it needs a little room. But we'll worry about it next week. Man, it rides so much nicer with them new shocks on it. I mean, I only moved it over one bay. I'm not really sure, but.
Ryan told me first. He's like, well, I'm gonna wait to see what Joe said. I'm like, Joe's not coming down today, bro. And then he gave it to you. And I told him, I was like, it will be the first time I did shocks on the fucking Jeep that had low mileage.
They were a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, they're annoying.
They're rusty as hell. You have to turn you have to hold the nut at the top and turn the shock. Either that or you got to take the whole battery tray out and all that stuff.
Fun.
We got it. I'm going to tighten my nuts before I get too crazy, you know. Can't be driving around here with shock bolts loose and stuff. It's one thing to go a bay over. It's another thing to go to sleep tonight and go, can I tighten those bolts? Oh, I hate that. That's at ride height too, that helps. There's no other circumstance that I would do that kind of thing under. You might know if you've been around a while. I want to say we aligned this not too long ago. Maybe we're doing under warranty because he did shocks, I'm not sure. In any event, I hope it's not out too much because these things are a bear to align. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be a problem. Lower it down. Get the heads on it. All right. The vehicle is installed in the machine. What is that noise? What the heck is that? It's got to be that? I don't know. It's very weird. It just squeaks once in a while. Like the turn plates couldn't unlock completely or something weird. I'm totally guessing. I couldn't see the machine at all. We're now at the cash or sweep part. Now you can block the rear heads when you do this because it's only measuring the front caster. Wheel's pretty straight too. That's cool. Now you can't be blocking it. Yeah. Peachy Keen Belly Jean. Of course, I reset the machine. You know, when you reset the machine, not only is it courteous to your coworkers who do an alignment after you, they don't have to reset it for you, but hey, you guys got some nerve working while I'm filming. It also enables you to drive the vehicle off the lift with all the plates locked. Although, most of the time it'll lock them when you let it all the way down, but you never know. I just feel like a natural order of things. The sun rises and sets, the rain keeps the trees and flowers alive, oxygen helps us breathe, and resets the alignment machine when you're done. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I'm asking a lot. I'm gonna pull the nice lady's car around back. Kind of coming off the rails. Exactly. Hood shocks don't work. AAA is supposed to be responsible for fixing everything on her car since they put a battery in it. This car was mint before AAA put a battery and messed it all up. I did fix her battery connection for her for free. And spend about 20 minutes too much checking her turn signals, but you know what? I feel better about it. I tried. And we got another lighting issue in a Cadillac XT5. I do have to put this in the grass, in the fence, because unfortunately people have been known to come with a second set of keys and take them out of the parking lot when they don't want to pay for the checkout. AKA Diags should be free because AutoZone does it. I wish I was kidding. That is Cadillac extremely terrible 5 times over. The end of the day, almost the end of the day, the end of the week. Park. Looks like the left front blinker doesn't work. Well, the rear doesn't work. I don't see it blinking in the front though. Oh, okay, at the bottom. Not working in the back. Hood prop rod we had out for the Ford, we'll put it in a Cadillac. Hopefully nothing bad happens from doing that. Cross-contamination kind of thing. See if we have brake lights. Alright, the right rear brake light's out. Oh, you don't believe me? Alright. I saw you typing. I am going to show you right now. Wow, it doesn't look like it's lit in the viewfinder. That's weird. Oh, same thing with the top one. Oh, there it is. This one doesn't work. This one's working. That's weird. I wonder if the camera's frequency and the light agree so you don't see it on. That's kind of weird. I'm going to pull up a wiring diagram for this thing. Right brake lights out, both rear turn signals. Did not look at the parking lights yet. Alright. I should have done that before I shut it off. Some cars won't turn the parking lights on unless it's running, or at least the ignition is turned on. Fender light. There's a light up there and a light right here. Fender light, quarter panel. This looks like it's trying to be lit. So you see this is lit up front, but I can't see it in the back. I don't know if it comes up on camera, but it's going to be a bad taillight assembly most likely. The way they work, it's almost like a fluorescent bulb kind of thing, I believe, and only part of it's lighting up. I'll look at some wiring and verify it, make sure. Got to do an inspection, of course, too. It's only got 70-something thousand miles on it. That's all you get. Premium luxury American brand. Huh. Doesn't tell you on here where it's built. Kind of curious. Someone said in the comments, typical American built junk. I'm like, well, Toyota and Honda built in America. And every car nowadays is made up of parts from several different countries. I don't think there's any country that builds a car start to finish. If there is, tell me in the comments. All right, I've been looking at wiring diagrams. I've been trying to figure out all kinds of cool stuff on gravity check. If there's any other secrets and tricks to this here taillight dealio, because of the way part of it lights and part of it doesn't. But the problem is it's got a logic module in it. The logic module gets signals what bulbs to turn on. It's all in the tail light. So it may just need a tail light, but I got to take it apart and look. There's no information online about it. So we'll take it apart, we'll look. If the signal is coming to the tail light to turn on the blinker and there's no bulb I can see to remove, then it needs a tail light assembly, right? Sounds pretty easy. It rarely is, but it sounds easy. I mean, I can't even really figure out how to get the tail light out, so it's a work in progress. All right, the fine folks at Cadillac Fast and Furious, bro. They decided that you shouldn't be able to change bulbs in this. It's an LED assembly with a 5-wire connector going to the back, which is cool, you know. So I took those screws out and nope, can't take it out that way. You gotta take the bumper off because this goes underneath the bumper and the bumper's held up into it. You need to get the bumper off. You gotta take the fender flare off. And you hope nothing breaks. So the taillights are $300 a piece. So that's the plan. Get some taillights. These are basically destroyed anyway. I'm sure that's part of the reason they're not working. I'm not sure. Until I get it all apart, I don't know. So part of the diag is taking all the bumper stuff off, taking both taillights out, and then testing to make sure, because we have parking light on one side, no stoplight and no parking light on this side, no turn signal on either side, third brake light works, blinkers blink fast in the front, so it's trying to turn the blinkers on. So I'm gonna feel pretty comfortable that it probably needs tail lights, but I just tapped it and water ran down this. I'm feeling pretty confident it needs tail lights. We'll be 100% sure. We get some tail lights here, we'll take it all apart. We'll finalize our diag, install the new parts if it's getting a signal from the BCM to run the brake lights. This one here, someone else did a bunch of tune-up stuff and all. She says it hesitates intermittently. It's a 162,563 miles. No check engine light. 2016. Smells beautiful, kept in excellent shape, very, very clean. This thing gets a love rating of 9. It's borderline 10. I'm almost wanting to give it a 10. I mean, even the outside's relatively clean. They clean the door jambs too? Oh my god, I have to give it a 10. 160 something thousand miles to be this clean. They love their car, they take care of it. And I want to try to figure something out for them. I'll put the scanner on it, see if there's codes, even though there's no lights on. It doesn't guarantee there's no codes. But we'll see if we can find something for it. Some kind of a code or some other troublemaker situation. I'm not finding anything wrong with this thing. No codes. Did the report. The only code it has is for the radio module, which works. So why there's a code for it, I don't know. Maybe it's old news code, but this giant truck has a 2.3 liter Ecoboost. Continuous memory codes. No codes. So, and she's here to get it. I thought she was leaving it over the weekend and Joe might look at it Monday. And apparently now she's like, no, I need it for the weekend. So I haven't done the inspection or anything. We're backing it out. That's an awkward way to end the week. My car rolls better when there's nothing stuck to the tires. Some people worried that I had a flat, but what happens is everyone's bolts and washers and cotter pins all stick to the tires. Whoop. The last of the packages Joe will have delivered to the shop. Maybe next week, Amazon. When I ordered this camera that you guys are on right now, I ordered it Saturday morning and got it 5 hours later on Saturday afternoon. The Jungle Store. They don't play around. A few minutes after 5. We're starting to close up. Jace is gone. He's been gone for half an hour, 45 minutes. I think I did like 41 hours somehow this week. I think that AC job on the Silverado and getting the work that Joe couldn't get done on the Jeep and a couple other things. This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Not you. Him. The other day I said something joking around and Jace was like, if I didn't know you better, I'd be worried that you were really pissed right now. I'm like, why? He's like, you sound so serious when you're joking around. I'm like, I have to try to be aware of that because people take me too seriously. I'm joking around most of the time, and honestly, if I say something that sounds mean, and I mean it, you won't have any doubt in your mind. Because usually there's fire coming out of my eyeballs at that point. Otherwise, I'm probably messing around. Anyway, I appreciate you guys' company this week. It was a pretty good week. This camera was awesome. Didn't glitch, didn't do anything silly. Impressive audio and video, no echoing. We got a light mod on it now, which is on. If I turn it off, it'll be a little darker. I'll show you how this all works. That's what the light does for us. So you guys can see my pretty face. I know you appreciate that. You might have backed off the edge of your seat, and that's fine. Torque the like button on your way out if you got something from this week's videos and from today's. Don't forget, we got links in the description. If you got a bunch of money burning a hole in your pocket and you want to support the channel, check those out. But the most important thing is I hope I see you in another video because you're awesome.